So question 3, work out 54.6 times 4.3. So one of the skills you need to know for GCSE Maths is you need to be able to multiply a 3-digit number by a 2-digit number. So to deal with this question here, the first step is to take out the decimal point. So we first of all need to work out what this is. Right, I'll show you how to figure out where the point goes back in a minute. Right, you can use whichever method you know, but you have to know a method. Right, so for this one, I think I'll use the grid method. So this is how the grid method works. I'm going to use the place value numbers. So 546. Yeah, and in 43, it's going to be 43, and we're multiplying. Right, doesn't matter if you put these on the right-hand side or if you move them to the left-hand side. Put them on the side, that works for you. So I've got 5 times 4 is 20, right? And then count the number of zeros you've got in the question. So you got 1, 2, 3. So we need 3 extra zeros on the 20. So 1, 2, 3. Right, and for the other one, we've got 4 times, so we're going 40 times 40, so we've got 4 times 4 is 16, and between the questions we've got, can you see you've got 2 zeros there? Right, and that's how you would complete the table. So if I do this quickly, so we would have 6 times 40 would be 240, and 500 times 3 will be 15, and add the 2 zeros on, and 40 times 3 is 12, and then that 0 on, and finally the 6 times the 3, which is 18. So to get the answer for the multiplication, we basically need to add the answers in the middle here. So we need to go 20,000 plus 1,600 plus 240 plus 1,500 plus 120 plus 18. And if you've done this properly, you should come to 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. So if you get to this point, you would get 2 marks. So the first mark is for some sort of multiplication calculation, and the second mark is for getting the correct digits. So we're looking for the digits 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Right, the last mark is for putting the decimal point in the correct place. One of the ways to do this is to use something called decimal places. So if we go to the original question here, we can see, so if we zoom in a little bit, you can see the number of decimal places. So the decimal places will be how many digits we have after the decimal point. So here, can you see we've only got one number after the point? And on this one, you've only just got one number after the decimal point. So which is to say that this first number here has 1 dp, and the second number also has 1 dp, which tells us that the answer would have 2 decimal places. So you need to place your decimal in a position where there'll be only 2 numbers after the point. So if we go to this digit here, every number has a decimal point. So we know that this has a decimal point at the end, because this is basically saying 23478.0. Right, so what we need to do to figure out the point is to count 2 decimal places in. So that's 1 point and then another point in, which will mean your answer should be 234.78. Now, if this is a bit too confusing for you, you can use estimation. So if we go back to the questions we started with, 54.6 times 4.3. If we do an estimate of this, we would say 54 is approximately around 50. And this one to one significant figure is 4. So if we multiply 50 and 4, our answer should be around 200, right? So we're saying the answer to this should be in the 200s, basically, right? So if we start with the digits we've got and see where we could possibly place the decimal points. So these are the digits we got from the multiplication. So if I write this a few times, just to make my point. So I could have my decimal point here, or we could have a decimal point there, or we could have the decimal point here. Let's do it a few more times, and we'll see which one makes sense. 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. So we could also have the decimal between 2 and 3, or we could have it in front of 2 and introduce a 0 here. Now, if we move all of these, let's try not to get them mixed up. So if we move all of this up here. Now, remember, we're looking for an answer that's close to 200. Now, this first answer here is 2,347.8. Not that one. Right, this one is 234.78. Right, the next one is 23.47. Too small. 2.347. Too little. 0.2347. Really too little. So the only logical answer here, the only logical position to put the decimal point is this middle one here. Right, so your answer is 234.78. Right, and that was a 3-mark question. So one is for doing the multiplication, second one is for getting the digits 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, and the last mark is for the placement of the decimal point. If you found this video useful, then you should watch this one next. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share.